I first read the book Flash Forward 8 years ago, and I just fell in love with the idea and the thought about what if you could know your future? Would you want to change it? Would you try and change it? Could you change it? And that's the germ of the idea that's in the book. And I kept thinking about it and talking about it with David over the years. We talked about whether it could be a movie. We sort of let it go for a while. And then eventually, a couple of years ago, we just couldn't stop thinking about it. It felt very, very timely. It felt very of this moment that the question of how can you affect your world, how can you change your life, felt like it was now more than ever a really interesting time to explore that question. So we started talking about it not as a movie, but as a television show. And we realized that it was perfect for a television show because there were literally billions of stories that you could tell because everyone in the world blacks out. So we started by undertaking the question of how would you adapt the book, and we changed quite a bit. We came up with all new characters. We decided that in our show people would flash forward to 6 months in the future, whereas in the book they flash forward to 20 years in the future. So the book's much more futuristic, and our show, I think, is more grounded that way. And you really see the characters wrestling with more immediate decisions and life situations. So it felt better suited for television to do it that way. And once we decided how we wanted to adapt it and that it was really something important to us, it was very quick. David and Brandon Braga wrote the script, and it turned out fantastically well, and we were quickly bought by ABC, and now we're on the air. We hope people will commit to the entire life of the series, and there are certain questions that will be answered over many seasons, and that people will have to follow the show forever to really find out everything. But the idea for us is to follow the characters as they hurtle towards this day in the future, and we start to see how much of their futures start to come true, and how that's happening, and why that's happening, and how it's affecting their lives. So the great thing is we start to answer questions right away, and by the end of the first season, all of the questions about the characters' flash forwards that we saw in the pilot will be answered by the end of the first season. We have an idea for the overall series. We know how the series ends. We know what the big meta mystery is in the show and how it's answered. We have a lot of ideas for the final 2 seasons of the show once we know how those will lay out. So we're always working towards those, but at the same time we're very conscious of keeping the weekly drama simple and engaging, and having the audience progress with the characters and answering questions, and really letting the audience be along for the ride and not just holding out a mystery to keep them till the end. It's a great combination of both. According to the ABC executives, it's the fastest selling premiere show that they've ever had, and even before MIPCOM began, we'd sold in over 100 territories, so there's a lot of celebration about that. And for us, it's extra special because, of course, there's the business angle, but we'd always designed the show to feel very global. We'd always thought that this is something that would be about the whole world coming together and being very universal and having one connected experience. And so we've been very mindful in telling these stories of really trying to show how things unravel all over the world, and try and do it authentically and try and do it interestingly, and not just tell a United States-centric story, but a story that is truly global. So to us, it's very natural that there's been global interest in the marketplace, and that it's doing really well there. We're starting to get some of the premiere numbers from other countries, and it's a fantastic event everywhere. And some of the countries like Russia and Spain are translating the show faster than they've ever translated any program that they've aired, so that it's airing almost simultaneously as it is in America, and it's becoming a simultaneous event. It's really unprecedented. It's very exciting for us. have a lot of characters that live throughout the world that we're introducing throughout the season. We have the character of Agent Banks, who's played by Alex Kingston, who's introduced in the pilot and does come back with her investigation. And so we have her coming from the British angle. We have an actress by the name of Shohreh Aghdashloo, who plays a very mysterious character, and I can't say what city she's in, but she's in a foreign city. We have a Japanese storyline in which we've cast a wonderful Japanese actress, Yuko Takeuchi, who has flown in from Japan to perform in the show. We have a German storyline, which we're using the actor Thomas Kreutzmann to tell that story. So we're really trying to authentically tell stories from all over the globe and cast really fun actors for the parts.
Dimitri! Dimitri! 请帮助我！请帮助我！我的朋友受伤了！我朋友受伤了！家人抓住了！快！快！赶紧快！